So we asked our Discord what they thought the perfect ban list would be.
And some of their answers were a little based.
Yeah, like this one right here, unban Susu. I definitely agree with that one. I feel like Susu could come back to 3 and we'll be all right.
Come back to 3?
Yeah.
Oh, it's too much.
Yeah, but some of these other comments were pretty interesting, okay?
Yeah.
Some people wanted VFD back to 1.
Oh, no.
Some people wanted Max C to 3.
Psych!
I don't know if that's ever going to happen in the TCG.
Maxi to 3?
Yeah, I mean, even though we do have Crossout Designator, I don't know if that card could come back.
Nah, no one's playing that.
All right, because then Co-Money wouldn't be able to make money.
Nah.
All right. But if you like content like this, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Hit that notification bell to join the squad. And comment down below if you agree or disagree with anything that you hear in this video. Also, comment down below if you like this new setup. We're trying a new setup to make it a little bit more streamlined, with a little bit of better audio quality.
Yeah, we're testing it.
We're testing it. So let us know. And if you do, make sure to like this video. All right. So let's go into the perfect ban list. Start the new year fresh with the gift of Drip. Become a part of Team Mupreme and enjoy the newfound attention coming your way. Play on a mat that is softer than the clouds itself, more drippier than the water coming out of your faucet, more stylish than Kim Kardashian. Get yours today over at HeadtoHeadBibles.com. Okay, so to start things off, let's start with the unlimited list. What cards could come back to 3 actually and not disrupt the meta too much, or bring any new FTKs or any degenerate strategies, right? So the only card that I think that could get unlimited in the upcoming ban list is Dynamite, the True Draco. It's a True Draco card, Dynamite.
You just want Dracos to
no.
be good again. That's
Listen,
all you wanted to do.
Listen, as long as Diagram is at 1 or 2, Dynamite could come back to 3, because True Dracos isn't a deck that's doing much in the meta currently. And even with 2 Dynamite or even 3, I don't see True Dracos, or rather the entirety of the deck, doing anything too insane in the meta. I mean, it might bring more players back because, that deck got hit over and over again. So a lot of the players did, who did main that deck, kind of moved away from the game, and rightfully so. I mean, if your deck got hit to oblivion, I mean, I would too.
Yeah. Wait, what was the Dynamite? What was the effect for that one again?
So you can chain Dynamite to add to your hand or activate a trap card from the deck, a True Draco trap card.
That is indeed why that got it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good, right? True Draco
really
Apocalypse is a really good card.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I mean, again, True Dracos aren't doing much, and there are better control decks out there in the format.
Yeah, it's not that oppressive.
Yeah. Next, let's move on to our semi-limited list, okay?
This is such your list.
No, it's not. I feel this list was very well thought out.
Look at the cards right here.
With the people, okay?
Oh my god.
This was a very well thought out list with the Council of Yugi Man players, okay? Now, semi-limited, or cards that can go to 2 without affecting the meta too much. The first one being Salamangreat Circle. Now, Circle and Gazelle are both at 1.
Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like Gazelle and Circle could both come back to 2, and it would see a lot more play, because there are a lot of Salamangreat players who quit the game after Eternal format because the deck just got power crept, because Mirage Sally was banned, right? Salamangreat Circle Gazelle to 1. So the deck was really hard to play. But at the end of the day, the strategy didn't really change as much. And even if Gazelle and Circle came back to 2, it would generally be a consistency card more than anything else. And it wouldn't really affect the end board of the deck being, just being Sunlight Wolf set 2 and pass with a couple of hand traps in your hand. Now, it could change the strategy up a little bit to make it less of a gamble to play into Nibiru. Because Circle and Gazelle will allow you to play through the Nibiru, right? So in that essence, it helps the deck with a consistency boost, but nothing else, right?
I think also depends on the pilot too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many. There are, because this is also like a very budget friendly deck.
Yeah.
Until now, so we do have a lot of people at locals also playing Salamangreat.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, I think it depends on the pilot, because they've talked a lot of locals.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, at the end of the day, when a deck is so budget like that, you definitely have a lot of newer players playing the deck, and they're they're definitely not as good, right? So, I mean, it is what it is, but I think Circle and Gazelle coming back to 2 wouldn't affect the metagame too much, but would make the game a bit more fun to play, especially if you were originally a Salamangreat player, or you came back into the game playing Salads, right?
Yeah.
The next card on the semi-unlimited list is Dragonic Diagram. Okay, now...
You just want Dracos to come back.
No.
All you want.
Listen.
And there's going to be another emergency ban list.
That was the first control deck I ever played, and I really enjoyed the deck.
Yeah, he did.
But Dragonic Diagram is one hell of a card.
Yeah.
Now, is it oppressive? I don't think so. And I think Dragonic Diagram could come back to 2. But now here's the kicker. If Dragonic comes back to 2, then Masterpiece needs to stay banned. If Dragonic comes back or just stays at 1.
So it's either or.
Yeah, if it stays at 1, Masterpiece could also come back to 1.
Oh, gosh.
And that's a fact, all right? Don't flame me too much in the comments. But anyways, Dragonic Diagram. Now, the card allows you to break boards and make boards, because with Dragonic Diagram you can pop cards on the field or in hand, right? So like Dino players pop a baby in the hand, get the summon, or for true Draco players you can pop a spell or trap on the field, and when a true Draco spell or trap goes from field to graveyard, you can either pop a monster or a spell, or like front row or a back row, just kind of to make it a little bit more interesting. But Dragonic Diagram again doesn't do much for the meta. I don't think like the Yu-Gi-Oh population will come back to playing true Dracos if Dragonic Diagram came back to 2.
Sure.
I mean, if Dynamite came back to 3 and Diagram came back to 2, I could see a lot more people playing it. But then Masterpiece would most definitely need to stay banned. But I mean, we'll kind of talk into that once we get into the limited zone. Now,
wait, does Diagram have protection?
It protects your true Draco monsters from battle once. No. It cannot protect itself.
Okay, so
that would be
pop
insane.
it.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, on to our limited list. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting, because a lot of people actually believe that the semi-unlimited list shouldn't even exist, because, like, what is the point? And I get what they're saying. But now that we are onto the limited list, this is where things get a little bit more interesting, right? Now, the first card that I think that could go back to limited is Zodiac Trident.
Oh, Miss Trident's coming back?
Yeah, you know why? Because DPE is a card.
It is a card.
Right? And DPE is much better of a card than Trident is. So if DPE is still in the meta, then Zodiac Trident should definitely get the unbanned hammer, right? I mean, you can argue like, oh, you can make a 6 material Zeus, but I mean, Lyralist players can make like a 10 material Zeus.
They can.
So what does it matter anyways, right? I mean, Trident is powerful, and Trident is or rather Zodiacs are a splashable engine that you can put into like Eldlick, Tri-Brigades, Birds, or whatever it may be. But like I said, I mean, you can't argue with Destroy Phoenix Enforcer being in the meta that Trident can't come back, because they do the same thing essentially, but DPE is just better because it comes back every single standby phase, right? And Trident doesn't. So, I mean, let me know in the comment section down below what you think. But, I mean, there is a little bit of a conundrum there if you ask me.
Well, maybe it could come back to 1.
One. Limited means 1,
Yeah.
All right. So, the next card that should come down to 1 is Mystic Freaking Mind. This card is insane, right? It's insanely hard to out, especially if you're playing, like, a combo heavy going first deck. You just simply don't play the out to Mystic Mind, right? And your opponent generally, if they're playing Mystic Mind, they'll bait out all the negates and, you know, Mystic Mind you anyway, unless you're playing like a deck like Virtual Worlds, which a lot of players are not because of Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. You know, you can always Chuche pop the Mind, but like generally, like that's for cards like, you know, that you can out in archetype, right?
Yeah.
So, but if you don't, Mystic Mind is an extremely oppressive card, and players have been asking for Mystic Mind to get banned forever.
I mean, technically for me too. I mean, like for me, even when I draw it, let's say I literally have nothing. I always say, I'm sorry. I have to mine you.
It's like you have to apologize for playing this card. Listen, if you have to apologize to play a card, you probably shouldn't be playing that card. Now, the card at 1, is it fair at 1?
I think it's fair.
Okay, because like
I think it's fair at 1.
Any good deck should be able to out Mystic Mind, right? Like that's the general consensus, right? Like you should generally be able to out these cards at least once. Now, playing Mystic Mind Burn or against Mystic Mind Burn, that's really difficult because they have like Field Barrier, Solemn Judgment, and all these other cards. But generally speaking, if a combo deck sides Mystic Mind, having it as a Saki one of, I generally don't mind. Like I don't think it's completely unfair.
Yeah.
But if you out the mine and he activates another mine, that's when it gets a bit frustrating.
Exactly,
But in that essence, I think Mystic Mine is better at 1 than banned.
Yeah.
Because it does give people that sacky one of like Harpy's Feather Duster or Called by the Grave or Red Reboot. Like there's so many cards that should get Imperial Order, right? So these cards are more difficult than I think mine is.
Yeah.
The next card that can come back to 1, I think, is Electromite. Now.
Oh, Trip.
Yeah.
Trip.
Shout out to Trip. Like,
yeah.
Pendulums are getting a better Link card than Electromite. Yeah, no, they're getting a better one now. Magician Pendulums, I think, is a really good deck. But Electromite coming back wouldn't make the deck insanely oppressive. I mean, they do put up like 11 negates, but I mean, Electromite coming back just
limited to
the limited to 1
yeah.
does give the deck an insane boost, like rightfully so, and it does bait out hand traps, which is great because you still lose the draw no matter what, but it is what it is. I feel like Electromite coming back to 1 gives players a chance to play Pendulums whose name isn't Triff. The only person playing Pendulums is literally Triff.
Yeah, but
shout outs to Triff for being a 1 deck homie, man.
I know. He's loyal.
He's loyal.
He's loyal.
Unlike Pac, he plays a different deck every day.
Oh yeah, he cheats on his deck all the time.
Oh my goodness! All right.
Yeah.
Now the next card that could come back to 1 is Masterpiece. Now, if Dynamite comes to 3 and Diagram comes to 2, we definitely cannot have Masterpiece.
No, imagine they go something crazy and they do put it back at limited.
That would be insane. Like if those 2 other cards come back, Masterpiece needs to stay banned because the deck would be insanely powerful. But then if everything else stays, so if Dynamite stays at 1, Dragonic Diagram stays at 1, Masterpiece could see a back to one day, like release the piece.
You've been screaming that since we got into you.
There are so many better cards than Masterpiece.
I know.
There's no reason for Masterpiece to stay banned. It just does not make sense.
Does that have protection like Colossus or not?
It does. So basically, you tribute a monster, spell, or trap, and it's unaffected by 2 of the 3.
Right.
2 of the 3.
Right. So
but again. We have Dragoons,
or DPE.
we have DPE, we have Adagnister, the Link 5 or 6, whatever it may be. So, I mean, if you disagree with me, sucks for you, I guess. Masterpiece to 1.
Masterpiece to 1.
The next card that I could see going to 1 is Fractal.
I was confused, but why though? I understand that this is a starter.
Right. I mean, it's the best starter, right? Because it solves a lot of issues, right? Because it'll Foolish Burial, then Kit Foolish Burial is another, and then Nerval will search you. But Fractal is such a great starter, especially in the bird up strategy, because even if they interrupt you on Fractal, the bird up has 4 other straight gas cards in their hand.
That deck is crazy.
Yeah, and if they decide to interrupt you elsewhere and Fractal does resolve, they still get to play because no matter what, they'll have Revolt on the field by the end of their combo anyways. The try bird up strategy allows you to play both sides of the deck very efficiently. Not even proficiently. It's very efficiently because the deck has enough gas to allow you to play both engines even if you only draw a single engine.
So you think only Fractal's the main?
Yeah, I mean, Fractal being like the main combo starter for the Tri-Brigade strategy, and even an extender in the bird up strategy, the card is insanely good, and you're searching it off of Tanky anyways.
True,
Right? So
and Tanky's at 1 too.
Yeah, Tanky's at 1 too. So technically, you're playing 2 copies of Fractal. I think Fractal to 1 is a very safe hit. Because it lowers the consistency of the deck just a little bit, but not too much where people wouldn't play it anymore, which is what I think the FNL list should strive to do. Instead of unban everything or ban everything, I think you should make the deck a little bit more fair while at the same time making the game a little bit more fun. Okay. Now, talking about fun and fair, Harp Horror. That card can just stay banned.
That's the Orchid card.
Yeah, Orchid. This card, I hate playing against Orcus.
Have we ever played against Orcus even in that regional that we went to?
Yeah, during Eternal format. That's what Will was playing. That's what EJ was playing.
We sided for it, but
Galatea,
we never...
Dingirsu, Harport. Listen, that card can just stay banned forever. That's the one deck I hate playing against. Like I will play against Mystic Mind Burn and sit there instead of playing against Orcus. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah,
okay,
it is
so
what
Harp
it is.
Staying.
Yeah, Harp just
Okay,
stay
Harp is
banned.
staying.
Just stay banned.
Okay.
Now on to our ban list. Now there isn't much on here, right? There's two cards that everyone wants banned, and I agree, right? Imperial Motherflipping Order. This card.
You want it banned?
Well, the card literally stops a third of the game mechanic of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? You just can't play spell cards. I mean, you can, but their effects are negated. Yeah. And like it sucks playing against this card because against some decks, you just auto win with this card on the field, right? Like they just simply do not play. And even if like your deck isn't spell heavy, but you know, due to variance, you draw only spells and you can normally play through the IO, and now you can't, it just feels even worse. Like it just literally feels so bad having IO flipped on you.
Yeah, but sometimes I've also had games where my opponent played IO. They IO'd themselves. They lost all the life points.
Yeah,
I eventually won. I know that it does happen. Though that's like a funny situation, but I understand because like that's kind of like with Mystic Mind and IO. It's like, you know, I would always say I'm sorry for Mystic Mind, but then for IO too, like I would look at it and be that's fine. You're losing life points anyway.
Call the hospital, but not for me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Listen, if you've ever lost to your own IO, let me know in the comment section down below. Okay.
I did. I actually did. I lost my own IO.
Yeah, so I mean, I think IO getting banned doesn't hurt because we still have anti-spell fragrance.
Yeah, that's still
that card still exists. So, and that card is much more fair because I mean, it stops you for the turn. Yeah. But not forever. Because I mean, with the speed of Yu-Gi-Oh today, if you get IO'd and you can't out it and set up your own board, they're literally killing you next turn anyways. Yeah. So due to the speed of the game, you know, IO should see a ban because it's most combo decks like Tri-Brigade Literalists play IO because they just play like 39 monsters and one IO.
Yeah, they don't play.
Well, I mean, they play like 3 Bird Call and stuff, but whatever. Sure. But you get what I'm saying, right? And the final card to get banned.
Really?
Artifact Scythe.
Really?
Now, I've been playing Artifact Scythe DPE Drytrons.
Yeah.
And that deck is insane, right? Because even if they interrupt you, even if they Nibiru you, you still end on Dagda DPE with a set Scythe. And that board is still very hard to get rid of because if they can't get into the extra deck, now the only deck in the meta right now that don't care about that is Fluanderies. Because they don't summon from their extra deck anyways.
They don't need it.
Or Dinos if you're playing Dinos, you madman. But Scythe is a card that really, again, stops like a whole mechanic of a deck, right? Like if a deck strictly relies on their extra deck, like let's say Dragon Link or Madolches or Bird Up, Invoked, right? Like you're just locked out of your extra deck, which stops the entire your deck. It stops your entire deck, right? Like it's as bad as Imperial Order, right? If IO is like will stop a striker player forever, then Scythe, because you can bring back Scythe, you can loop Scythe with Dagda and DPE, which is insane. Yeah, if you watch our last locals video, I actually did that. But instead of looping Scythe, I looped Lancia against a Dino player.
You crazy.
Which is really insane.
You're so toxic.
Yeah, but then that begs to bring up another question is like, then should you ban Artifact Lancia, right? Yeah. Is Scythe and Lancia the problem, or is DPE, Verte, Fusion Destiny? Like, what really is the problem? And
is that really a problem, though? Are these cards a problem? I don't necessarily see cards as a problem.
Well, because like Scythe activates on field, so you can always like Lancia it or droplet it or imperm it. But, you know, Lancia tributes for cost. So, you know, it dodges a lot of things. So it is what it is. But when we talk about the ban list, it always brings up an interesting topic, right? Because one is pure speculation. No matter what anyone tells you,
it's just our opinion.
Konami doesn't listen to these videos. They're not gonna, they don't scrub YugiTube and pick the best, the best ban list opinions and use them in their, actual ban list. But it brings a very interesting question as to whether, is the player base correct? Do we know better than the people who've made and create these cards and or games, right?
I think it's definitely the creator. Because they're the ones also coming up with different strategies. They're the ones also coming up with future cards.
Yeah, but what about like FTK's strategies that players have made up with the cards that Konami has made, right?
I mean, sure, that's the beauty of the game, right? Like, we could also create our own strategies and stuff, but I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they just have this elaborate 20-year plan where they plan out all these cards.
It'd be crazy if they did.
Huh?
It would be crazy if they
know.
did.
Yeah,
We
don't know.
You know what else would be crazy though?
What?
If you subscribe, like, and comment, hit
Yeah.
that notification bell to join the squad, and join us on our journey to a road to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Then why are you putting yourself there?
All right.
500K.
1 million subscribers.
There you go.
All right. Anyways, guys, if you guys would like to support us some more, head over to twitch.tv/head-to-head battles. We stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at around like 8:30 now p.m. EST. Also, if you would like to support Jen as an artist and us as a channel even more, we have some dope merch over at headtoheadbattles.com. You can pick up some super soft one-player cloth playmats, stickers, field centers, pins.
There's a bunch.
There's such a wide array, and it'll be the only drip you will need to play Yu-Gi-Oh! In drip fashion. All right, guys. So we've taken up a lot of your time already. All right. So if you guys like this video, again, please like the video. And we don't want to take up any more of your time. So this is Susu from Head to Head Battles.
This is Jen from Head to Head Battles.
Signing out.